Welcome to the Making You, an accurate reflection of Christ podcast, where you become translucent glory. Now, here's your host and glory teacher, Karen Pina.
Kingdom greetings. Here we are today to talk about demonstrating Rabboni's teachings and works. If you have been listening on the podcast for the past several episodes, you've noticed that when I refer to glory, I focus on concrete and practical actions to demonstrate how to be an accurate reflection of Christ. In today's episode, I want to share another aspect with you because you can't be an accurate reflection of Christ without demonstrating healing, deliverance, signs, wonders, and rabbinic teaching. Now, rabbinic teaching there is teaching like a kingdom master. So it's time to be made and it's time to learn from Rabboni, the master. Let's go. It all begins in Jerusalem. Over the years, Father has graced me to demonstrate his power and glory in many ways. And as a result, it was hard for me, to pick one or two to share with you for this episode, but he helped me. Yes, indeed, he is my helper. So, as you know, demonstrating his glory starts in Jerusalem, which means it starts with you and it starts with your household, your family, your kinsmen, right? Your folk. And sadly, many embark on ministry but have not been resurrected in glory yet. For years, I have adopted the motto of Jesus in John 20:5 through 17. And that motto is this: I haven't gone to my Father. Don't touch me yet. I've told my husband that the first person, the first being, the first contact that I want to have in the morning is with my master. It's with Rabboni. I want to sit down at his feet and learn from him. So don't touch me yet. I haven't gone to my Father. I haven't ascended to my Father yet. Hey, you need to take a page from my book. If you haven't touched him yet, sit down. If you haven't ascended to Father yet, get your tush in your heavenly seat. In short, no one, and I mean no one, should be ministering to his people when he or she hasn't been in Rabboni's glorious presence. This is where you learn how to demonstrate Rabboni's teachings. This is where you learn of him. This is where his yoke, that's easy, begins to come down on your shoulders, begins to descend on your shoulders. This is the place of learning how to demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works. It's where you learn of him. And I tell you, after many years of sitting and communing in his presence, I've learned a little something about his works. Haven't mastered it all, but I've learned a little something, and I want to share some of my Jerusalem encounters with you. In 2011, our oldest daughter contracted the AIDS disease out of nowhere. It baffled us, quite frankly, because one, she was still a virgin and not sexually active, and two, she wasn't a drug user. I'll never forget the day when I received this news. I was elated. I was like, yeah, let's go, God. I saw this diagnosis as an opportunity for him to demonstrate his power. Since there was no logical explanation for contracting it. See that little clue right there? No logical explanation for some things clues you in to his desire to demonstrate his teachings and his works. So we prayed. My husband and I prayed, and he healed her supernaturally without any man-made assistance in one day. 24 hours later, completely healed. Today, she is an epidemiologist studying how to stop this disease from entering into the blood-brain barrier. I tell you, God has been demonstrating Rabboni's teachings and glorious works to our eldest daughter all of her life. In another instance that he did this with her, it was when my favorite aunt died a couple of years ago, and we rode with our daughters to the funeral service. And on the ride home, we were listening to worship music, and I heard whoop, 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 whoop approaching us. Now, the sound was louder than our music, and we like it loud. You hear me? We like it loud. I turned and looked out the window behind me because I was sitting in the back seat. I looked on my left, I looked on my right. I didn't see anything. So I turned to our daughter and I told her, slow down. She didn't listen. In about 5 to 10 minutes, whoop, 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 the sirens showed up in the natural. Wow. A cop pulled her over and gave her a ticket. This was a sign to her because Father has always done this through me whenever she starts to veer off course. All of her life, he's been demonstrating Rabboni's teachings and glorious works to her and causing her to wonder, how did she do this? I'm telling you, demonstrating Rabboni's teachings and works. It really starts with you. It starts with you. It starts with your daughters. It starts with your sons. It starts at home in Jerusalem. As a child, I walked into furniture and walls all the time around the house. I did this so much that it became a joke. My mother would say, "Move out the way, furniture. Here comes Karen," while snickering. And one day I walked into something around the house. I don't even remember what it was, but the pain was excruciating. And my smallest toe on the left foot came off. The whole toenail came off. I wasn't taken to the doctor, and so the toenail never grew back. So, about 2009, when Father began to usher me into the fullness of experiencing His glory in my temple, I began to command the toenail to grow back. And it did. Recently, I lost this same toenail again. 2 days ago, I was awakened to a vision. And in the vision, I saw a foot and I saw a file, like a metal file, and it was going underneath the toenail, cleaning it out. And I woke up. And I knew that that was Father's way of letting me see that He was going to grow the toenail back supernaturally once again. I came into agreement with what He showed me. And I know that it's going to grow back. What do you need to grow back? Is it your hair? Because I know for me, I've been in that place, far too many times. I was like the woman with the issue of blood. I had suffered many things by the hands of many hairdressers. And if I didn't know how to demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works, there would not be a single strand of hair on my head. But that is not His will for me. And it's not His will for you either. If you have had a history of hair loss, breakage, damage by beauticians, or even some skin and scalp conditions, let me teach you how to glorify your hair. Go to bit.ly/my hair is my glory. And every letter there is capitalized except for the verb is. That's bit.ly/my hair is my glory. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Do you need a nail to grow back like me? Get a vision, because a key to moving in Rabboni's teachings and works is to see. You notice that? To see what it is that He's going to do. Because if you can see it, then you can work it. You can move in it. Get a vision for whatever it is today that you need to grow back. See it restored. See it, and command it to grow. Demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works. That's what we are talking about today. This is what is on the mind of the Father, because here's the thing. If you demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works in Jerusalem with your family, they will come to Christ. You must be an accurate reflection of His power by demonstrating Rabboni's works and teachings. And after you win them, then you can branch out to the rest of the world. You can branch out in the marketplace. You can branch out when traveling by car, by airplane, by train. You can branch out wherever people frequent. The principles that you learn on how to move in His glory in Jerusalem are transferable to others. If this episode has stirred you, then my husband and I would be honored to teach you more of what we've learned in this area on May 17th and 18th, 2019 in Houston, Texas. You can learn more at bit.ly/GloryTourTX. The TX there is capitalized. Dozens of disciples have learned the principles that we're teaching in classes and in our community. And I want to close out by sharing a recent example of going into all the world. On February 17th, 2019, I was interceding for our disciples. And as I was praying in tongues, I heard, "Meet me in the Spirit." And I began to call out the names of various disciples. Then I was led to log into our community and I typed these words, "Meet me in the Spirit. Can you hear me praying?" One of our disciples, Natasha, entered into prayer at the same time that I did, and she saw my face appear to her. She saw me praying. And then Father gave her a revelation to break a long-standing cycle in her life. I tell you, it is time for all of his children to demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works, and that includes his character. There's nothing more unattractive than seeing someone master. Wow, my Father. Master. Moving in signs, wonders, healing, deliverance. And yet they have not mastered how to love their brother and their sister, the greatest commandment. We are his children, and he's calling us to be an accurate reflection as his sons. So, what did you learn today? What did you learn about how to demonstrate Rabboni's teachings and works? What were some of the little nuggets and clues that I gave you in this episode? I'd love to hear all about it. Leave me a review. Rate the podcast. I'd be honored. Thanks for listening. Blessings, and I'll see you right back here on the next episode. Karen Pina, your glory teacher and host, signing out.
Thanks for listening to today's podcast. To discuss and learn more about this episode, join your Glory community at bit.ly Glory School Community. First letter of the words are all capitalized. Finally, be sure to sign up for the RSS feed to know when the next episode is uploaded.